To all the racists out there, your ignorance and hatred are a poison to humanity. Your shallow mind clings to false superiority, but know this: your bigotry is a mark of weakness, not strength. Humanity's true power lies in unity and diversity. While you cling to outdated prejudices, the world moves forward without you. Open your eyes, confront your ignorance, and evolve, or be left behind in the dust of history. You're on the wrong side of progress, and your hatred will never prevail.
Hello, everybody. This is AJ's Political Views. I hope that everybody's been checking me out over on the TikTok as I talk about various politics and situations that's going on in this country. Welcome to AJ's Political Views, where we connect people and politics, make political speech easy to understand, give you that old school radio talk show type of vibe with a little podcast on the side. I do want to welcome everybody to AJ's Political Views. I'm trying to build a little bit more videos on here talking about the politics, talking about life and all the things that we have to deal with just to try to survive out here in this country. Now, listen, I got a lot of things going on in my life. There's a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm working on Life and Community Solutions Association Incorporated. I want you guys to check that out over there on the Facebook page. Um, it is an organization geared towards addressing the issues and the cuts that's going to be happening throughout the administration as regards to helping people in the area of health, in the area of food, in the area of education, and I think in the area of safety and security. So if you are interested in becoming a part of a Life and Community Solutions association, I would like you to check us out over there on the FB, and that is what we got going on behind the scenes. Now, AJ's Political Views primarily goal is to connect people in politics, to bring politics to your living room finally, and to make it easy for you to understand. Just like you and me talking, sitting down, having a conversation, talking about politics. That's what I want to do on this side of town. I want to have those type of conversations. Now, if you want to have conversations with me where you can answer questions, I definitely want you to join me over there live on the TikTok. And also, I want you to um, check me out in other areas. I'm still working on the social media aspect of AJ's Political Views. If you want clippings of the live show, you can get them over there on the Facebook. Also, you can check us out in the near future in other areas. Our website, we're working on our website right now. So if you're serious about making a change in your community, and you want to address the issues that's going to be happening as it relates to the shortcomings that's going to be happening here soon, you definitely would like to be a part of Life and Community Solutions Association Incorporated. Okay, thank you all so much. LCSA for a better word. All right, for simple. All right, so today I want to talk to you primarily I want to talk to you about what's happening in America. What are we going to do about what's happening in America? But you need to understand what's really going on here. All right. White supremacy has always been the core issue problems in America, and it seems to never ever get away from it. And the reason why it never gets away from it because people continue to put white supremacy in power. That's the problem. Individuals that says that constantly having to be faced with conversations about black and white, black and brown, and culture and race, they say they have a problem with it. Why is it that we continually having to have those type of conversations? Why can't we move on from racism? Because racism is the core of this country. The system itself is racist. And what has to happen is that European Americans have to begin to stand up against the core problem in this country. They have to actually face their truth and their history and the reality. and stop embracing elements in this country of white supremacy while you claiming that you have a problem with white supremacy. You see, it's true that there are a lot of black organizations out here. That I will agree with you. There's a lot of black organizations out here that is geared towards the rights of black people and only want black people involved. Okay? They don't want to have anything to do with European white people. They only got black people involved. All right? Such organizations as Pan African, um, the the Israelites, um, Black Panther, which in fact, you know, I don't know how it is now, because they're starting a new, movement as relates to Black Panther, but how it was back then, that was inclusion. They, even though it was all about protecting black and protecting our communities in our neighborhoods, it opened the door for various Caucasians to come in. They weren't what they were accused to be. All right. Um, the problem that I see when it comes to YT organizations that represents white nationalism and white power and looking out for white people, the difference is that most of them are violent. Most of those organizations are seeking out ways to hate or to eliminate certain groups that they have a problem with, versus black movements are more focused on educating, supporting, surviving, and protecting. You don't bother us, we won't bother you. But the difference with white national organizations that gear towards protecting white people, they don't need protecting because nobody's bothering them. Nobody's trying to make it difficult for their lives. They're coming into other communities and killing and unaliving people. And when black people like myself have to travel and go through what we call sundown towns, and we travel through those sundown towns, we are faced with what? Racism. We're faced with hate. We're faced with individuals that are literally trying to take us out just because of the color of our skin. But they, in return, can come in our neighborhoods and won't be bothered. In fact, European YT people, Caucasians, are more safer in our communities than we are. If an outsider go into certain communities who are black and go into black communities because of poverty and crime and because of gang violence, we go into those communities and we taking a chance on our very existence in our lives. But I saw a video of a Caucasian reporter, independent reporter, go into the most dangerous areas. I'm talking about areas of gang violence. And he literally were interviewing people of gang violence. And they had their weapons there, and they were literally having conversation with them. No fear, wasn't intimidated, wasn't scared. They were just talking to them. These black young men were just sharing everything, just telling them what they wanted them to know. And they say, "Oh, we gonna let you hang on in here. We're gonna talk to you." It's something about how black people perceive Caucasians, white people, is the biggest problem in America, because if our young black men and women don't know anything else, they do know white supremacy. They do know that if they commit a crime against a Caucasian or European individual, there would be a price they had to pay. beyond measure versus taking their own out because they don't get the same treatment by taking their own out as they would taking a European YT person out. And that is the core of this country because this country was built on a system of white supremacy. And the problem is that people are still living in denial because with their eyes they see, oh, things have gotten better, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes because they're not familiar with politics and the system thereof that continuously make it difficult for us every so many generations. They only let us go so far, you know. Once we get too much education, once we own too much property, once we open up too many businesses, once we establish too much faith that represents our identity, once we start embracing too much of our culture, eating too much of our food, teaching too many of our children about the system, once we start going down that path, here comes white supremacy. It never fails because America is not built on the principles of the Constitution that was written by white men. The very Constitution that says that all men are created equal, the Emancipation Proclamation, 1865, that we obtain our civil rights, the Reconstruction period, all of that was eliminated by white supremacy. And the reason why it's being able to be eliminated by white supremacy because people keep choosing white supremacy as their government. Every so often, they keep voting in the same people. And when they vote in something different, as we had only one, who is Obama, who is also not only represented black, but he also represented white, that man, when he was voted into office, white people got afraid that something was going to be taken away from them when in fact they got richer under Obama. Their lives got better under Obama, and they won't admit it to this day because there again, you can't speak the truth about black people. You can't speak about how smart they are. You can't speak about how successful they are. You can't speak about how they're winning unless we're playing sports or dancing and singing on a stage. We are viewed more as entertainers than corporate owners. And that is the problem with the system of America. It's not the people, it's the system and the people that you vote into office that continue to hold that system up. And that's why we keep visiting the same thing over and over and over again as it relates to white supremacy. You see the difference, as I was trying to tell you, the difference between black organizations and white organizations and how we view one another. Black organizations focus primarily on protection, education, and providing resources for their own community, whereas white organizations that represents racism, segregation, because all of it is built on segregation, you know. But the way the white people want to segregate is that they want all the stuff to themselves. They don't want to share. Because at the end of the day, I don't think black people have a problem with being segregated. We don't. We don't have a problem with not going into your stores, not going into your grocery stores, not going into your communities, not having anything to do with you. We don't have a problem with that. That's not our problem. So if white people don't want us in their establishments, and they don't want us in their community, and they don't want us in their schools, We don't have a problem. But the problem is that white people don't want us to integrate. They don't want to integrate with us, but they don't want us to have anything either. They want to take it all because they want to rule. Supremacy, that it means we want to rule over you. We don't want you to have any independence. We want you to have to come to us and beg us for everything. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want us to beg for our education, beg for our food, beg for our housing, beg for loans, beg that they don't hurt us, unalive us, kill us. We have to beg because it builds up their ego and it makes them feel good about being white because look what we got these black folks doing. That's what they get off on that. That's the true image. That's the true picture about what's going on in America right now. Is that white people do not want to see black people be successful. And the problem is that many people that look like me that have been in areas of connections and have been successful and have gained wealth drop the ball when it comes to their community. You see, we had every opportunity to come up. Every opportunity to come up because we've had people that have been successful, very well educated, opening up businesses throughout this country that could have made a difference in the most impoverished communities in America as it relates to black folks. We should have been building schools, building hospitals, creating clinics, creating technical technology. We could have been doing all those things in our communities before this showed up, what we're dealing with right now. We did not take advantage of the opportunity. And here again, here is our most established politicians, entertainers, preachers, and pastors looking for the poor to stand up for themselves once again when we're the ones that made them rich and made them successful. And now they're looking for us to stand up again to fight for ourselves. And only when we fight for ourselves will they fight for us. When they were voted into office and given positions and supported, that they may look out for us because they got the money, they got the connections, they can make the necessary moves. They could do the same thing that the other side is doing. The other side is paying folks. Elon is getting what he's getting because he's paying folks to do it. He's putting money out into the community in the most impoverished communities of poverty amongst the white folks. He giving them money. He giving them a check. He giving them a job behind the scenes. It's temporary because once they get what they want, they're going to fire all of them. But at the end of the day, where are our black people? Where are our black politicians and those with money? Why aren't they out here paying folks to protect the Constitution and the rights of American people and the rights of American citizens? If they say that they're the party of the Constitution, where's the messaging? What type of messages are they sending out here as regards to what this guy's going to do? I am so sick and tired of hearing about Trump and what Trump's going to do and what he's doing and what he's going to do with it. We were told that all during the election. We were told that time and time again. Trump is going to do this. He's going to be a dictator. The 2025 project, he's connected to it. Then, now that they're doing it, we got our politicians telling us what we already know with no solutions, no plans, no way of preparation. They playing catch up. They have no answer for the 2025 project when they've been aware of it since it's been in existence because they've always known. Don't get it twisted. The parties always known what these individuals were going to do and how they was going to do it. They're just acting dumb like they don't know when in fact they do know. So this is what we got, folks. This is what we're dealing with in America right now. Incompetence, weakness, and individuals that don't know what they're doing. People out here in the streets barely making it, doing podcasts and creating various type of platforms for politics and news, no more than the individuals that's been doing it for years. Yeah, we are fighting, but they want us in the street. They want some bodies laying in the street. They want some people suffering and hurting and crying. Got to lose some children along the way, parents along the way. You remember C-19? We dealt that. We dealt with that. We've been there, done that. Millions of people lost their lives during C-19, because of the incompetence of the government at that time, the administration at that time, the very administration that we have now. And they want us to do it again. They want us to sacrifice our lives so they can say, "Oh, now we can move. Enough of them done died. Now we can move." That's how politicians think. That's how most of them think. We need some folks to die in the street before any movements happen. And I even heard someone come up on my panel, and whom I respect very highly, said the very same thing. Somebody has to die before anything happens. Somebody has to die. That's nothing to brag about. In fact, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty serious that somebody has to die in order for people to look out for folks for their rights, their constitutional rights. Somebody has to die again and again and again and again, because we always dying. Black blood is always shedded for the rights of our enemies. And they're our enemies because that's what they chose to be. Black blood has always shedded for the freedoms in America, has always been shedded for the Constitution of America. Our blood has always the blood that had to be shed to make a difference. All through history, it's been us dying, us falling, us being sacrificed. Every movement, every march, every organization that has been formed that got the name black on it, or every organization, counter organization that may have white on it, was organized because of the black blood that's been shedded in these streets. And here again, they want us to do it again. They want our blood shedded in the street again in order for people to make a movement, to make any type of move. Not me. All right, everybody. Thank you. You've been listening to AJ. This has been AJ's Political Views. I hope that you understand where I was coming from. You know what we do here. We connect people in politics and make political speech easy to understand. So that's what I do. I bring politics to your living room in a way where you can understand what I am talking about. So until the next time, you be safe and take care of yourself. You've been listening to AJ, and this is AJ's Political Views, giving you that old school radio talk show type of vibe with a little podcast on the side. Later, everybody.